Have you ever wondered if your thoughts hold the key to the life you've always dreamed of? Imagine this. A single shift in how you speak to yourself could unlock unshakable clarity, resilience, and peace of mind. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and backed by modern neuroscience. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from mastering your inner dialogue. Combined with the science of neuroplasticity, it reveals how changing your thoughts can reshape your brain and transform your reality. Today, we'll explore practical steps to silence self-doubt, embrace emotional detachment, and attract everything you desire. Stay with me as we uncover how Stoicism empowers you to overcome challenges, let go of what you can't control, and cultivate a mindset of growth and fulfillment. Together, we'll dive into techniques that don't just inspire, they work. If you're ready to take control of your thoughts and change your life, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official. Let's begin this transformative journey together. 1. Why self-talk shapes your reality. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of your thoughts? Every word you speak to yourself is more than just a fleeting idea. It's a command shaping your brain and, ultimately, your life. This isn't just philosophy, it's science. In the realm of neuroscience, we call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Every thought you think strengthens a pathway in your brain. When you repeatedly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," you're carving a deep groove of self-doubt. Over time, this becomes your automatic response to challenges. But here's the good news. Just as these pathways can be built, they can also be rebuilt. You can create new routes, ones grounded in confidence, resilience, and inner peace. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, aligns perfectly with this scientific insight. The Stoics believed it's not the events that affect us, but our judgments about them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you understand this, you realize how much control you truly have over your reality. Let's imagine a scenario. You've just received some tough feedback at work. One voice in your head says, "I'm a failure. I'll never get it right." Another, the voice of resilience, counters, "This is a chance to learn and grow." Which path do you choose? The answer determines not only your emotional state, but also your future actions. Choose the latter, and you're actively rewiring your brain for positivity and problem solving. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring reality or sugarcoating problems. Instead, it's about reframing them through a lens of possibility. When you shift from "I can't" to "I'll figure it out," you're not just changing your mood, you're changing the chemistry of your brain. This shift releases dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters that boost motivation and focus. But how does this work in real life? Let's take another example. Imagine facing a daunting project. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, use self-talk as a tool. Say, "I've handled challenges before, and I'll handle this too." Please write it down. Say it out loud. Over time, this becomes your default response, replacing fear with determination. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Through Stoicism and science, we see that the words you choose for yourself hold the key to a life of emotional detachment, mindfulness, and self-mastery. It all begins with a single thought: "I can." 2. The science behind positive self-talk. Did you know that every word you say to yourself triggers a reaction in your brain? It's not just philosophical, it's biological. Neuroscience shows us that positive self-talk directly impacts your brain chemistry, influencing your mood, focus, and even your ability to handle stress. Let's dive into how this works and why it matters. When you engage in positive self-talk, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters often referred to as the feel-good chemicals. They don't just lift your mood, they enhance your focus and motivation. Imagine walking into a challenging situation and saying to yourself, "I've done hard things before, and I'll succeed here too." That single statement activates the reward centers in your brain, making you feel capable and prepared. But what happens when you do the opposite? Negative self-talk, like "I can't do this," activates the stress response, flooding your body with cortisol. Over time, this not only affects your mental health, but also weakens your immune system. The good news? you have the power to reverse this through intentional practice. Let's connect this to Stoicism. The Stoics believed in controlling the narrative in your mind. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you pair this wisdom with modern neuroscience, it becomes clear. The way you talk to yourself can change the way you experience life. Here's a real-world example. Picture someone facing a major setback, losing a job or failing at an important task. One narrative says, "I'm a failure, and nothing will ever work out." This creates a cycle of negativity, reinforcing pathways of doubt and fear. But another narrative, one grounded in resilience, says, "This is tough, but it's an opportunity to learn and grow stronger." This shifts the brain's focus from helplessness to problem-solving, creating new pathways for optimism and action. The science of neuroplasticity tells us that our brains are not fixed. Every time you choose a positive thought, you're carving a new route in your brain. Over time, this becomes your default response to challenges. Imagine your mind as a garden. Negative self-talk is like weeds, growing wild and out of control. Positive self-talk is the deliberate planting of seeds that bloom into confidence, resilience, and inner peace. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about reframing it. When you shift from "I can't" to "I'll try," you're changing the trajectory of your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your outcomes. So the next time you catch yourself doubting, stop. Reframe. Speak to yourself as if you're your own biggest supporter. Because in the end, the words you choose are the foundation of the life you build. 3. Transform your inner voice with powerful exercises. Let's talk about transforming the voice in your head, the one that can either lift you or pull you down. How you talk to yourself shapes how you see the world and ultimately how you live your life. The good news? You can take control of that voice starting today. One of the most effective tools for transforming self-talk is asking empowering questions. Instead of dwelling on "Why does this always happen to me?" shift to "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I grow through this challenge?" These questions rewire your brain to focus on solutions rather than problems. It's not about avoiding the tough realities, but engaging with them in a way that builds resilience. Next, let's explore the power of future self-visualization. Imagine the person you want to become a year from now, confident, composed, and thriving. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving your biggest goals. What do you look like? How do you feel? Now, speak to yourself as if you're already that person. Tell yourself, "I am strong, capable, and ready for this challenge." This technique not only motivates you, but also primes your brain to act as if success is inevitable. Positive affirmations are another game changer. Stand in front of a mirror and say aloud, "I am worthy of success," or "I have the strength to overcome this." At first, it might feel strange, but the more you repeat these statements, the more your mind believes them. Neuroscience supports this. Positive affirmations activate the brain's reward system, making optimism a natural response. To make these practices stick, consistency is key. Dedicate a few minutes each morning or evening to reflect, journal, or practice affirmations. Write down the negative thoughts that hold you back and replace them with empowering alternatives. For example, swap "I'm not good at this" for "I'm learning and improving every day." Here's a practical example. Let's say you're preparing for a big presentation. Instead of thinking, "I'm going to mess this up," write down, "I've prepared well, and I'll give it my best." Repeat it until it feels real. This shift in perspective not only reduces anxiety, but boosts your performance. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Each time you choose to speak kindly to yourself, you're planting seeds of confidence, growth, and peace. Over time, these practices will become second nature, and your inner voice will become your greatest ally. So, grab a journal, find a quiet moment, and start today. Your thoughts are powerful. Make them work for you. 4. Responding to challenges, shifting your perspective. Life is full of challenges, unexpected events, setbacks, and frustrations. But here's the truth. It's not the challenge itself that defines you, but how you respond to it. This simple shift in perspective can transform how you experience life. The Stoics believe that our reactions, not external events, determine our peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's a philosophy that empowers us to take control of our thoughts and actions, no matter what life throws our way. Imagine this. You're running late, stuck in traffic, and the frustration starts to build. You could let anger take over, thinking, "Why does this always happen to me?" Or you could pause and ask, "What can I do with this time right now?" Maybe it's an opportunity to listen to a podcast, reflect, or simply practice patience. That choice is yours, and it's the key to staying grounded. Let's take a closer look at what happens in your brain during these moments. When you react negatively to stress, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Over time, this response can lead to anxiety, burnout, and even physical illness. But when you pause and reframe your thoughts, you interrupt that cycle. Instead of amplifying stress, you trigger your brain's problem-solving mode, encouraging resilience and calm. This practice isn't about ignoring difficulties. It's about facing them with a mindset of growth. The Stoics called this perspective, "The obstacle is the way." Every challenge, no matter how tough, is an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, courage, and wisdom. Here's a real-life example. Let's say you've received tough feedback at work. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," try reframing it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? This doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you do next. You move forward with clarity and purpose, instead of being paralyzed by self-doubt. It's not always easy to pause and reframe, but like any skill, it gets easier with practice. Start by recognizing your initial reaction. Then, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I control my response, not the situation. This single moment of mindfulness can shift your entire perspective. The next time life tests you, remember that challenges are inevitable, but suffering is optional. By responding with reason and resilience, you take back your power and build a stronger, more focused mind. 5. Acknowledging challenges. The power of acceptance. Life often throws us into situations beyond our control. The question is, how do we respond? Acceptance is not about surrendering to defeat. It's about recognizing the truth of a situation and using it as a foundation to act wisely. This balance is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus taught, some things are within our power, while others are not. This idea is not just philosophical, but deeply practical. When you focus your energy on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you reclaim power over your life. Conversely, when you dwell on what you can't control, like the opinions of others or unpredictable events, you waste precious energy and invite unnecessary frustration. Think about this. How often do you get upset over things that are entirely outside your influence? Maybe it's a traffic jam, a canceled event, or a sudden change in plans. Instead of fighting reality, ask yourself, what can I control in this moment? This simple question shifts your focus from helplessness to action. From a scientific perspective, acceptance also calms the brain's stress response. When you fight against uncontrollable situations, your brain produces cortisol, heightening your anxiety and clouding your judgment. But when you choose to accept, your mind and body enter a state of equilibrium, allowing you to think clearly and act rationally. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're facing a major setback at work. A project you worked hard on was rejected. The initial wave of disappointment is natural, but what happens next? Do you spiral into self-doubt, blaming yourself for things outside your control? Or do you pause, reflect, and acknowledge the situation for what it is, a chance to grow and improve? Acceptance doesn't mean you're okay with failure. It means you refuse to let it define you. One powerful Stoic practice is the circle of control. Draw a circle on a page. Inside, write what you can control: your mindset, effort, and choices. Outside the circle, list what you can't: others' opinions, outcomes, and unforeseen events. This exercise is a visual reminder to focus on where your power lies. Acceptance doesn't come naturally, it's a skill. Start small. When faced with a minor inconvenience, like a long line at the store, practice asking, is this within my control? Over time, this habit will extend to larger challenges, helping you maintain composure and clarity even in the most difficult situations. Remember, accepting reality is not about giving up, it's about stepping into your power. By focusing on what you can control, you not only manage stress but also cultivate inner peace and strength. So the next time life feels overwhelming, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I choose where to direct my energy. 6. The role of gratitude, turning challenges into opportunities. Have you ever paused to feel grateful, even during tough times? Gratitude might seem simple, but its impact is profound. It's a practice that can transform how you experience life. For the Stoics, gratitude was more than just appreciating the good. It was about finding value in every challenge and setback. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This mindset isn't just philosophical, it's supported by science. Neuroscience reveals that practicing gratitude rewires the brain, strengthening neural pathways that promote positivity and reduce stress. Over time, gratitude helps you see life through a lens of growth and resilience. Imagine a difficult day, a missed deadline, an argument, or an unexpected problem. It's easy to spiral into frustration. But what if instead you asked yourself, what is this teaching me? What can I appreciate in this moment? By shifting your perspective, you move from helplessness to empowerment. From a biological standpoint, gratitude lowers cortisol levels and increases serotonin, the chemical that regulates mood and promotes emotional well-being. It also releases dopamine, creating a cycle of positivity that reinforces itself. Simply put, gratitude doesn't just feel good. It physically changes your brain to make positivity your default state. Here's a practical way to integrate gratitude into your daily routine. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Be specific. Don't just list family or health. Instead, write, I'm grateful for my friend's kind words yesterday, or I'm grateful for the cup of coffee that started my day. The more detailed you are, the more powerful the effect. But what about challenges? The Stoics believed that adversity is life's greatest teacher. Even in hardship, there's something to be grateful for. A lesson, a chance to grow stronger, or an opportunity to practice patience. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that every difficulty carries growth potential. Let's say you lose your job. The immediate reaction might be panic or self-doubt, but through gratitude, you can reframe this. I'm grateful for the chance to reassess my priorities and explore new opportunities. This shift doesn't erase the challenge, but gives you the clarity to move forward. Gratitude is a skill, and like any skill, it grows with practice. Start small. Notice the little things, a kind gesture, a moment of quiet, or the lessons hidden in a setback. Over time, this habit will reshape how you view your life, even during the hardest days. So today, take a moment. Reflect on what you're grateful for, not just the joys, but the challenges too. Because gratitude isn't just about what you have, it's about how you see the world. 7. Building consistency. Have you ever started a habit only to give up after a few days? Building consistency is one of the most challenging yet rewarding practices in life. It's the secret to lasting transformation. For the Stoics, consistency wasn't about perfection, but about showing up day after day, aligned with your values and goals. Epictetus taught, progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. This timeless truth is supported by modern neuroscience. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger the neural pathways in your brain become. Over time, these pathways make your actions automatic, a process called habit formation. Imagine trying to improve your mindset. If you only practice positive self-talk once a month, it won't stick. But if you make it a daily routine, even for just a few minutes, you'll notice a shift. Your brain, like a muscle, gets stronger with regular training. So, how do you build consistency? Start by creating a simple system that works for you. One effective method is the habit loop. This loop consists of 3 parts: a trigger, a routine, and a reward. For example, let's say you want to practice gratitude. Your trigger could be your morning coffee. The routine? Write down 3 things you're grateful for, and the reward, a sense of calm and clarity to start your day. Another key to consistency is setting realistic goals. Don't aim for perfection or grand gestures right away. Instead, focus on small, achievable steps. For instance, if your goal is mindfulness, start with 2 minutes of quiet reflection instead of a full meditation session. These small wins build momentum and keep you motivated. But what happens when you miss a day? Life isn't perfect, and setbacks are part of the process. The Stoics remind us not to dwell on failure, but to return to the path as soon as possible. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise each morning, think of what you must do to align yourself with virtue." The same applies to habits. Focus on the next opportunity to act, rather than the time lost. Your environment also plays a crucial role. If you want to succeed, remove distractions and surround yourself with cues that support your goals. For example, keep your journal visible, set reminders on your phone, or place sticky notes with affirmations around your home. Consistency isn't about willpower, it's about creating systems that make success inevitable. Over time, these small actions compound, leading to profound changes in your mindset, emotions, and life. Today, take one small step. Write one sentence in your journal. Take one deep breath. Speak one kind word to yourself. Because transformation doesn't happen overnight, it happens through the quiet power of daily effort. Every journey begins with a single step, and today, you've taken that step toward mastering your thoughts and emotions. The wisdom of Stoic philosophy combined with modern neuroscience shows us that the life we desire isn't shaped by chance. It's shaped by our choices, our actions, and the dialogue within. By embracing the power of self-talk, gratitude, acceptance, and resilience, you're not just reacting to life, you're creating it. Imagine what's possible when your thoughts align with your goals, when challenges become opportunities, and when inner peace becomes your foundation. This is your moment to take control, to speak to yourself with purpose, and to act with intention. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official, and share it with someone ready to transform their life. Remember, transformation begins within. Speak wisely, act boldly, and watch as your dreams unfold.